Hey friends, it's Mary and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to do another journal page for you. I am working in my Tiffany Goff Smith journal. I bought this from her, back in 2020, I think. I still have not finished it, so I've kind of worked. I like that page. I kind of have worked here and there in it, and I skip around. So this is the page I think I'm gonna work in. Nice empty page, and then on the other side it's an eco dyed page there with a little bit of, you can see some leaves there, which I really like. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day.
So
I'm doing pretty good here.
I'm just gonna do this.
And so I'm just isolating these pages. Normally I use wax paper, but I didn't have any wax paper up here in the bedroom. So now I'm fast forwarding a bit and gonna get moving here with this. I'm gonna lay down some gesso first, give me a nice base to work on. Now this was not real necessary, but it's just kind of a go-to thing that I normally do. Yeah, and just drying it. And when I don't have a real plan for what I want to do, I normally start laying down some papers, and I'm using Liquitex matte medium, liquid matte medium. And I've just got a variety of papers. It can be book pages, it can be sheet music, painted papers. I have painted papers. It can be magazine pages, anything. So just yeah, laying these down. Kind of no rhyme or reason. I do try to balance out the colors a bit and the textures of the book papers. I like to have a variety of different papers all around the page. So you guys, I went kayaking last Friday with my girlfriend Tracy, and no sooner did we get out to almost the middle of the lake and it started to thunderstorm. So we had to head back in. The weatherman was really incorrect. They were forecasting the storm to come later in the day, and they were wrong. So we're gonna try again next weekend. So I'm laying down a piece of napkin. I like the colors on it. I'm hoping to start making for Halloween. I've got some ideas, so we'll see what happens. Maybe a couple assemblages, and also maybe something, you know, using some of my Halloween picks, cupcake picks. We'll see. So here I've got a laser jet piece of paper here. I'm doing an image transfer, you guys. This is what I'm doing. So I used Liquitex Matte Medium. I used the gel. And I laid that down, and then we will let that dry. You can also use an inkjet printer, but then you really have to be careful that you don't rub off the image. So here I'm using masking tape. Masking tape is great. I'm just laying pieces down haphazardly. It gives great texture to the page. I like using it. And then I'm also putting down some of that same Tim Holtz washi tape that I had used for my last journal page, my last video. Just kind of picking up what I have around me. Then I decided I need a pop of color, a contrasting color. So this is the inside of an envelope, a security envelope. So doing that, some music paper. And then this is painted matte paper, and I believe, again, I used this in my last journal page as well. I love painted matte paper. I love it. I love the texture that the matte gives to a page. It's wonderful. And I'm almost out of this matte paper that I painted. So now I'm getting out my Bombay India inks. Gotta put some more color down. And spraying it with water. And just letting it run wherever it wants to go. India ink is permanent. You can also use, I also have Liquitex acrylic inks as well, and they're great too. I've had these inks forever, and I've got to get them used up. So drying that. You can imagine how wet this page is now. It's quite wet, so I'm just trying to dab up some excess ink, trying to get it dried. And doing all of this, sometimes I had to, you know, step away to allow for more drying. So like there, I stepped away and I came back to it. So now I want to do a wash of white. I'm using gesso because that's all I have around. So I'm covering up the whole page. And this is alcohol. So I'm dipping my fan brush in a bottle of alcohol and then splattering it on the page. Isn't that cool? Now my gesso wash was a little bit too thin, and it just really ran. So I'm trying to put more down. The page on the left is very much raised because the journal has become so bulky. So it wants to all run to the middle on that right side. So I let that dry, and here I am, not satisfied with the coverage I got, so I'm trying again. More alcohol splattered on. And now the right side of the page, again, I'm trying to hold it down, and I'm thinking, oh, what can I use? I don't have a big clip, a big heavy clip to help hold it down. So I'm holding it right now with my right hand, trying to figure out. I think of a wire cutters right there that I have, but then I realize, no, they're not going to stay on. They're going to roll right off the edge because I don't want to lay it right on the page. So I get rid of that and just let it dry. And, you know, use a little bit of help with the hair dryer. You can use a hair dryer. You can use a heat gun. Remember that coffee? My coffee from the last time? Well, I left my coffee there on the table and it evaporated, so I'm grunging it up with some coffee. Then I stop in the middle and I decide, okay, it's time to reveal the transfer. So I'm wetting it down and just rubbing gently. You want to rub gently. This takes some patience. What you do is you rub it and then you let it dry, and it becomes white again to reveal more of the pulp, and then you just keep working at it. So I'm back to the coffee. The splatters aren't doing it for me, so I'm using a brush and just adding more coffee here and there. So working on the image some more. It's funny, I need color on my pages. I love color. Color makes me happy, but then I also need the grunge. So the coffee was not doing it for me. So I'm using Liquitex. I think it's either raw sienna or burnt umber ink. And then I let that dry. Came back. Once again, I'm working on the image, trying to get more of that pulp off, the white. Removing the pulp, the paper more. And then I think, yes, I'm using Liquitex Matte Medium again, and I'm just gonna seal it. So any remaining white patches that you've just like, oh, I'm tired of trying to rub all this off, I can't get it all off, then just seal it with Mod Podge or the matte medium, and then that will get rid of all of that. So now I wanted to tell you, on Saturday, I took a little mini class, a Zoom class with Renee, I believe her last name is Mueller. She teaches online classes, and it was just about using paint to create very loose floral designs. And I am not a real great, precise, fine artist, and so making flowers kind of loose and abstractly really appealed to me. So it was a great course. It was only $20, and I'll have it for life now. And so I did that on book paper, and I'm just trying to fuss around, trying to figure out where I want it. And I'll try and remember to put Renee's info down. So there was a bumpy spot there where the masking tape was, so I'm trying to remove that so it's a little flatter. I'm taking my matte medium, the gel, because the paper is a little bit heavier, so the gel will work better than the liquid matte medium. And then I'm going and I'm sealing over it too. Get that laid down. And you can see I took the paper and I'm bringing the paper off the page at the bottom there. I just like doing that, even though it can be flimsy, it might tear with time. That doesn't bother me. So I'm taking some, I think this might have been coffee dyed. That was a lace tablecloth. There was an edge of a old vintage thread box there. That's some upholstery fabric that I rust dyed. And again, I don't have a lot of fabric up here in my bedroom, so I'm just using what I have. I think I would have liked to have put a little bit of a colored fabric, but instead then I found more of that map paper, which I totally love, and I'm laying that down to bring in some more pink. Brighten it up a little bit. And then I've got this crocheted doily. I love this. So sorry about my head in the way, guys. Yeah, so I cut a little floret out there, and I'm just gonna lay that down. Trying to decide if I like it. Wishing that I had something else to add to it, but I don't. So I don't want to fuss with glue. So I'm just stapling it all down. Gluing the little crocheted flower down. Then I decide that flower needs a little bit of a punch. Needs more color. So there we go. couple dollops of that, a little bit of a paler pink. Then I'm using some quinacridone Azo Gold, I think. And adding a little bit of that around the page. This is Payne's Gray. We used some Payne's Gray in the class for the leaves, and so I'm just adding a little bit more, and then I decide, well, maybe I need some Payne's Gray some other places. Wasn't really sure. So just little dots here and there. Decide I need to glue that paper down at the top. And then there I have a picture. Nobody's in it. It's just a vintage picture of the beach, kind of off in the distance, the horizon of the ocean, and then greenery in front. And I want to put that in there too. By the way, I didn't really explain that that's a yearbook photo of a class that I did the transfer, the image transfer. I like to use yearbook pictures in my art a lot. I love, 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 love. Now I'm trying to brighten everything up again with some gesso mixed with a little bit of water. I'm splashing, putting some splashes on the page. Sorry about I have the journal up a little bit high so you can't see the top. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I put a little bit of Payne's Gray in the middle. I thought the flower needed some contrast. And then here I've got an art foamy, and it's just a fine line, sketchy flowers is what it is. And here I'm using Payne's Gray. That top one that you can't see, I pushed way too hard, made a mushy mess. The one on the side there turned out nicer. So I'm just rubbing that off. I didn't like it. It was like almost like a blob of Payne's Gray. It was too dark, too much. So I'm coming back in with white. Thought I'd try white, at least at the top. That'll kind of negate the mistake I made there. Unfortunately, you can't see it, but it's there. And here I'm writing. I'm writing with my non-dominant hand. I'm writing the ebb and flow. Just kind of whatever that means to you, the ebb and flow of life. It gives, it takes away. So I'm making marks, little dots and little X's, kind of like the ocean, whatever it is, floating up to the heavens, or it could be floating down. The give and take, the ebb and flow of our lives. Who knows? I don't know what it means. It just came to me as I was creating. So I put the date on there at the end. And I hope you guys enjoyed this page. I had a lot of fun creating it. It was a little bit of a process, a lot of drying time, but in the end, I thought it turned out really nice. give me a comment, subscribe, give me a like. Thanks, guys.